I don't know. I'm having network troubles with the chat monitor. Hmm. Mackerel dancers. I mean, necromancers. Like to flop around like dead fish. No idea where I am or why. Beyond that, I have stumbled thus far. If there's a key, that means this is a special place. Or a maze. Well, that's ominous. I think it's just a maze. There's nothing in all those. Thursdays, we'd be dealing with it.
Ah!
Well, that's a key. Hmm. Well, that looks like it's probably part of a thing. Yeah, that looks like it's got to be part of some thing. There's definitely got to be something going on with that. There's no zombie heads with long hair and barrettes, whatever they are. Our friend. He's backing. Alright. See a gate, close a gate. See a gate, take a break, then close it. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, you thought you could move in here and just set up shop? Well, not without paying your property taxes. But that wasn't useful. I think this place needs an exterminator. But we made it right past all of them. Freaking speed. Sapphire.
Show me what you've got.
Well, that's not the way. The way to get me to show it. Bandits. Man, look at this. The level of construction. Took the time to fit the jam. This ain't just a flap with some hinges. And it's been mounted, sealed. Good weather. Dozen Christmases. That's a little bit like spam. Well, actually, do something? You know what? I'm just gonna U-Haul it all.
You need something? May I interest you in some of my fine wares? That seems a fair. That's more. That seems a. That's more than I'd usually. You've made a good bit of gold. You've made a good bit of gold. A fine transaction. A good price for a... You've made a good bit of gold. That. Let's see. An ex. You got. You drop. Thank you. Come. Pay attention, and you can learn a lot. Walk always in the shadow of...
Hiya, Colette. Howdy doozers. With extra.
Hi there.
Hey there. I think he was talking to you, Colette. You know,
Your a sincere welcome to you. May you be forever blessed.
Hello.
Do you think what happened to Kvatch could happen here?
Ranelin?
Indeed.
Goodbye.
You're the Divine Crusader.
Yeah.
We all owe you a debt of gratitude for closing that Oblivion Gate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Seems to me that Ardaline has an admirer in Varen Vamori. You too.
Oh yeah. She works the night shift. You know, I'm sure he would appreciate if he knew, but I'm gonna take a guess and say that he didn't see your wave. That's alright, because we'll go by there again, and I'll tell him that you waved at him. They don't think it's funny. I don't think they understand that it's a joke.
Turn your bones to ash. Back off.
Okay, obviously that guy does not know that it's a joke. And I'm kind of wondering, about my bones being turned to ash, because I think he already turned my elbows to ash. Whoa. Hilarity joke.
Is this pleasure?
Oh, absolutely, baby.
You are one hot customer. See anything else you're interested in?
I don't know. Turn around. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey. Can't be having none of that around here now.
An excellent bargain. You drive a hard bargain.
My girlfriend says the same thing. Yeah.
I do think I've been taken advantage of. I do think I've been. A fine. That's a good deal. I do think I've been taken advantage of. I don't think so.
Right. She can't afford that.
I do think. I don't think so. You wouldn't try to. I don't think so. I don't think so. You wouldn't. I do think I've been taken advantage of. Fine. I do think I've been taken advantage. I do think. I do think I. You got a great. I do think I've been taken advantage of. I do think I've been taken advantage of. You drive a hard bargain. That's a fair. I do. That's. I do think I've been taken advantage of. Let's just keep this a shadow ideal.
So here's how it works, Colette. I got some ideas and stuff like that for how to fix, you know, nerve degeneration and aid nerve regeneration. Yeah, you know, let's say I'm talking to somebody who's like knee deep in it right now. And they got the equipment. I'm sure they got ideas, just like I do, but for real?
Hi there.
If they had a breakthrough,
How are you?
it'd be getting shown off. It's like if I had something solid, I'd know how to do it. So limited. Gonna crack this one though. We're gonna figure it out. Same thing with the clothes folder. I've been making more and more progress with that every time I fold clothes. Maybe if they have ideas, you can help them with theirs too. Equipment isn't cheap. But get ready for this one, Colette. Maybe it's not the right equipment. Let's talk about something else for a second. I'm thinking about cucumbers. Everybody grows cucumbers. They grow so easily this time of year. You just put them in the ground and they sprawl out and you got cucumbers. You got so many cucumbers you can't even give them away. And then they just sit there on the vine. And then they grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and who cares? I mean, now I got cucumbers that are so big, they could scare a fire log. And they're all yellow too. It means yield. Don't eat this one. Go for the green ones. Yeah, yeah, they got a pretty good dose of that. Um, but it has me thinking about abundance. We need abundance, Colette. How do we get abundance of things that aren't cucumbers? Because cucumbers are one thing, but an abundance of pickles. That's what we really need. $21.34. $1,044 steel arrows. Fruit trees in parks. So here's the thing about fruit trees. They're messy. And they get diseases easily. Now, there is actually a public food forest in the Food Forest Project. I never fully understood it. There's a bunch of hippies fighting. Kind of like the Democrats. It's just all supposed to be good, but everybody wants to be the person saying, I came up with the idea, you do it all. That's everybody. I mean, that's everybody. Not everybody, but it's everybody. I know a few people who are eager doers. Kind of like me, I do a lot. Usually happy to go and help and all that kind of stuff. And it is, I mean, it's like, well, one example, like I tried to call WOC 1420, and then I recorded it and I posted it, and then somebody is like, what? Who authorized you to say this? And somebody else is like, well, they don't really need authorization. I'm like, who's the authority here? Because it's like, nobody is advertising for the food forest, right? Nobody's calling WOC to talk about it, but I took charge and I went ahead and did that. And before you know it, people are like, oh, it wasn't the perfect representation. Because I said something about funding, and the funding thing was like some research that I did, and I found this, but it was that. Or like they didn't get the funding or something like that, and I don't know. Either way, it's like, well, you're not doing the work. I'm trying to do the work here. Stop. First off, I get that you're stopping whatever is wrong, but you gotta fix the problem at the root of it. It's like, if you're not going to advertise about the food forest, then obviously people are going to get their facts wrong. Right, yeah. A group of managers yelling at the only worker. They're all yelling at Dave, and I'm Dave. Yeah, that was the funny part. It's like, what, are you guys gonna kick me out of the food forest that I was never in to begin with? Are you gonna try and like point your finger and then rub the other one on it and be like, shame on you? Ah, jeesh. Yeah, fruit trees are dirty. Oh, that was another thing that was stupid. So this doesn't have anything to do with me, but the food forest was like down in the ghetto area in the Garden Edition. And this is a real place. Um, they call it that because the Garden Edition, because all the streets are named like Chrysanthemum and Violet Street and Carnation Street or Carnation Avenue or something like that. It's the Garden Edition. But it floods every 10 or 20 years. It's like every 13 or 14 years we get a flood big enough that it floods everything down there. And half the people restore their houses. The other half can't afford to, and they can't afford to move. And some of them become dilapidated and cave in. And it's a rough area, but it's not bad people. It's just, people who are poor and hard up. There's not a lot of crime down there, I guess, but it is, closer to the ghetto, not the druggy ghetto where the trailer parks are. But, That's another story. Anyways, down in the garden edition, there was some empty lots, and we had some plants and like garden plants. And you know how garden plants kind of look all big and shaggy, and like a mown football field and like big shaggy garden plants look different from each other. And so the one alderman was like, "Your plants look too ugly. It needs to be cleared out so that the kids can play." But meanwhile, like the dozen of us food forest hippies are down there planting plants that the kids come over and play with, and they're like playing in the garden and they're eating the produce, the vegetables and stuff, which we'll come back to. But they're out there running around and playing with the garden being there. So what do you want? Just pure grass that they can that like whose kids are you talking about, weird lady? Because the alderman didn't even live down there. And so it was really weird. Yeah, this is in Davenport, Colette. Remember where that building collapsed? And Andrew Wold, who changed his name, by the way, uh, like he was in the middle of building a multi-million-dollar house, but that building collapsed and it killed like a person, and a couple people lost their legs or something like that. It was big building collapsed in downtown Davenport. It was ridiculous. There's a lot of nepotism. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. Okay, let's see if I can pull this up. The Davenport. It was seen in 2018. Okay, yeah, May 28th, 2023. So just over 2 years ago, the Davenport, a six-story apartment building in Davenport, partially collapsed. The collapse destroyed a significant section of the building's rear and killed 3 people. So 3 people were in the back side of this building when it collapsed and they died. Rest in peace. It's built in 1907. Wow. Acquired by Davenport Hotel in 2021, worth about $4.2 million. Badly damaged during the 2020 derecho. Bullshit. That building was friggin' warpy for the last 20, 30 years, man. I'm dumb. I thought, oh, it's a building, they've taken care of it. It's all just decorative the way it looks like that. Because it's an old building and it's always been warpy. Compared to the front of the building, its rear face next to a parking lot had dilapidated appearance. Days before the collapse, structural engineer noted that the rear bricks facade was deformed. Repair work started on the 25th, but part of the building was still bulging by the 27th. the Quad City Time. You can see it in the security video. At the time, there were 53 residents registered in the 80-unit building. Surveillance footage by CNN shows chunk of the rear bricks falling underneath a second-story window. Blah, bling, blah. Booming sounds. Figured they were coming from outside. Till neighbors started screaming. Picked up her toddler and ran out. Soon found that at least one staircase was blocked by debris. 8 people were rescued and a dozen others were escorted out of the building. Additional search and rescue delayed until water and gas. Water? Really? Water utilities? Who cares about water utilities? How long does it take the gas to shut off? Like, seriously. Like, seconds? Maybe minutes? Hours at the most? On the 29th, a city initially stated there was no credible information that anyone was missing and that they would move forward with demolition plans the next day. However, after search effort involving over 150 people used thermal imaging, drones, and search and rescue dogs, a missing resident was discovered alive and rescued from her 4th-story window. 2 tenants were still unaccounted for. During that same search, 9 animals, 6 cats, a bunch of animals. Yeah, whatever. Pets is different because you can't talk to them. I mean, you can't talk to kids either, but that's not the same. Pets are adults that, you know, when a dog gets out, you're like, come here, you gotta get back in, it's dangerous out here. And they think you're playing. But yeah, that was let's see. Body of one of the missing tenants recovered from the rubble. On June 5th, it remains the other 2. One resident severely injured. One of her legs. In order to be safely extracted. Let's see, on the 30th, the city of Davenport filed enforcement action against the owner of the building. He failed to maintain the building in a safe, sanitary, structurally sound condition with a $300 fine. Legal purpose of the citation was to prevent the owner from transferring the property to avoid a demolition order. Okay, yeah, people were upset with the fine, but it's all legal crap. Our laws don't work. Shortly after the collapse, tenant filed a lawsuit, accused the city of Davenport and the building's former owners, knowing the deterioration, etc. Okay. So this is the backside of the building. All this just kind of collapsed. That's it, huh? Demolition. City reported 2 days. Numerous delays due to protesters pushing for the search of missing individuals. Also also health concerns due to possible asbestos and other materials, which prompted the city to order individuals nearby to evacuate. Demolition started 2 weeks later. Yep, now it's a field. And now the same thing is happening with Boozies. They're like, oh, you're an old building, and they're trying to replace it with new stuff. Yeah, that's a better image of it. That other one's misleading. This is the chunk that collapsed. It's terrible. Oh yeah, you can see somebody's clothes hanging there in their closet.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to
See, they had these sticks pushing up on it. It just all started to go. Poor people's cars.
so that recovery efforts can begin. A special task force entered the building last night.
I mean, sometimes I drive past here and go down this way to come back on 2nd Street. Yeah, I know, right? It was just such a shitty building. Nobody wanted to live there anyways. I mean, they were overcharging for a scum hole.
They say the building is constantly shifting, creating a dangerous situation for rescuers.
We did have personnel searching the entire safe area that was deemed safe on Tuesday. Monday, the building was still in motion, and from the structural engineers we had in their evaluation, it was unsafe for us to go in at that point. We are doing the best we can to balance the building conditions and the safety of our responders.
Responders say they couldn't get to parts to the collapsed area because of a massive Mid-American transformer nearby. That transformer powered part of downtown Davenport. It took Cruz days to shut it off safely. Family members of the victims and neighbors are still gathered outside the collapsed building tonight. KCCI's Ethan Humble shows us their frustrated call for answers.
5 days since the apartment building collapsed, people are still waiting for answers. as the search for the 3 who were still missing in the building has been completed. Both returning and new visitors stopped by the partially collapsed Davenport apartment building today. Some protesters have been around all week demanding those trapped in the buildings be removed before demolition can begin. Others have just stopped out today to check on the damage, but many people still wonder if enough has been done.
There's people in there or animals, or if you thought anything was in there, like why wouldn't you do everything and anything to get them out and make sure everything's safe?
A lot of heart.
That girl was high.
Break, a lot of wonder, worry. I've heard there's people missing that still haven't found yet.
But for right now,
I'm just trying to see if I know any of these people.
Still haven't found yet.
But for right now, the wait continues. In Davenport, Ethan Humble, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Inspection reports revealed signs of trouble months before the building fell. Engineers noticed cracks in the external walls in February. Days before the collapse, another report indicated a wall was in imminent risk of crumbling. KCCI dug through those documents. You can find a full report online at kcci.com.
Yeah, it was a mess. It's a Nest camera. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any footage of it. I'm surprised there isn't more on Wikipedia about like the backstory and all that. I mean, I get they don't want to spread a bunch of hate or any of that. But it'd be nice to have a little bit of closure on the legal stuff. I mean, that was downright ridiculous. And then what happened after? It's all business related stuff, Colette. It was the government's like, okay, now we gotta have inspections. So the old buildings got shut down. New buildings got built. The price of rent goes up. And none of it really benefit the people of Davenport. It's all a matter of gentrification. It's tourism and a few well-paid people who can afford to live there, like an apartment complex with 100 apartments, but it only has like 30 tenants. And then the few taxpayers who benefit from it. And then meanwhile, the poor people live in the outskirts. That I'm not talking about like me. I'm too far. I'm not even on the skirt. I'm part of the wedding train. You know, it's way out there. But like on the lower west end in the Garden Edition. And then we've got the bridge to nowhere. I think I showed you that once before. We talked about that. They built that sky bridge, and the idea was that old people could cross the road more safely. Because the traffic goes 30 miles an hour down there. And we needed that so that the retired folks could get to the casino boat that moved before the sky bridge was finished, which is why it doesn't have elevators in it. The other reason being that when they finally put the elevators in it, homeless people peed in them and broke them. But at least it's a big old fancy ugly thing. Oh, it's an eyesore. Everybody says it's an eyesore. Mm-hmm. All right. We're doing pretty good here. What are we still weighed down with? That is some of it. Yeah, I guess we're just carrying more stuff. Hmm. I kind of like carrying that. I think we're gonna keep carrying it. What are we gonna train? I think we were training armorer. I think.
Well met. I can fix whatever you break. Farewell.
How do you do?
Have you ever
After speaking to the Count, and in light of the evidence you recovered, Ulrich has been removed from his post and arrested. Many guards are coming forward with more evidence of his greed, so it's safe to say he'll be spending quite a bit of time in the city dungeons. I've been promoted to the post of Captain of the Guard, and hope to return respect to the peacekeepers of this town. The Count and I thank you for helping bring Ulrich's hold on Cheydinhal to an end, and for doing so without unnecessary bloodshed. As a token of our gratitude, as you did this at the risk of false imprisonment or perhaps your life, we reward you this bounty of gold. On behalf of the people of Cheydinhal, I thank you. Ulrich will be spending years in the city dungeons. This should give him plenty of time to reflect on what he's done. Wraith Lathandus is one of the greatest painters in all Cyrodiil. Sadly, he's gone missing. His wife Tivila is beside herself with grief. Until we meet again, may your travels be safe and the road remain clear.
What's new with you?
I was gonna look up about that aim. That's what keeps distracting me. There are no quests located or related to this. All right then. And kind of freeze up that. Hello? Hey. Wow, she's ready to hook up. I'm not that kind of guy. Ding dong. Ding dong.
I'm Tavella Lathandis. I apologize that I can't give you the respect a guest in my home would normally receive, but I am at my wit's end. I'm sorry to be so forward, but I desperately need your help. It seems that my husband, Reith, has gone missing, and I just don't know what to do.
Ripe? Is he a tomato?
Yes, my husband is the Reith Lathandis. Have you heard of him?
No. I've heard of his bacon and lettuce sandwiches, though.
You haven't? That's strange. Reith is known far and wide as one of the best painters in all Cyrodiil. His specialty is setting the great forest to canvas. The paintings look so amazingly real that some say they can see the trees sway in the breeze. That's just a silly notion, of course, but it just goes to show the attention to detail Reith uses when he paints.
Okay.
Yes, Reith likes to work in his studio with the door locked, so no one can disturb him. He usually comes out to eat dinner and sleep. But 2 days ago, he didn't come out at all. At first, I wasn't worried. He does that occasionally. But when he didn't come out for a full day, I unlocked the studio with a key he said to use only in emergencies. It turned out he wasn't inside. I'm sure he never left that room, so I have no idea where he's gone. Please help me find Reith. I love him dearly, and I'm so worried. Oh, thank you so very much. Here's the key to Reith's studio. You may come and go as you please. If you need me, I'll be around the house. Do hurry. I miss my love so much. Griand Garana can talk her way out of anything. Of course, all she usually talks about is herself. Do be careful.
You just gonna lay down. Yep, you just lay down. I got this. Oh, you got a fancy door. After touching the painting, that ripe tomato had been working on, I suddenly found myself standing in a strange forest. It looks familiar, like the great forest in the heart of Cyrodiil, but something is different about it. Almost as though he's been painting with LSD. That's what it is. I just touched a giant blotter.
Where did you come from? You look real enough. You must be from the outside. Oh, thank goodness someone finally came. While I'm overjoyed to see a friendly face, I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. You're stuck here like I am. Sorry to break it to you like that, but if it wasn't for that annoying thief, we wouldn't be in this predicament.
What? Thief.
I was in my studio when a Bosmer wearing dark clothing accosted me. Before I could call for help, he knocked me unconscious. When I came to, I found that the door to my studio was still locked and that the thief had snatched my paintbrush. That's when I saw it. There was something on the canvas of my painting that I hadn't put there. It looked somewhat like a troll, but it was badly done. Then it hit me. The Bosmer must have leapt into the painting, then painted guardians inside to protect himself using the brush of true paint.
Okay.
I knew the secret of my success would be revealed one day. I can tell you all about the brush if you like.
Yeah, tell me all about it, buddy.
Very well. The brush showed up several years ago in the possession of an artist who was serving in the Arnesian War of 396. It seems an errant fireball had exploded next to him, and he lost the use of both arms. He was a stubborn man who didn't want to give up his talent. Being a devout follower of Dibella, he prayed to her for something that would allow him to express himself once more. She heard his plea and gifted him with the brush. It's said the bristles of the brush are woven from Dibella's own hair. That injured man was my father. He passed the brush on to me, and I intend to pass it along to my kin one day. Did you want to know how it works?
Yeah, that too, man.
The brush allows the artist to paint from within a canvas. It opens a portal into which the artist may enter to paint things life-sized. All the painter has to do is have the brush in his possession, and whatever he imagines appears in the canvas. Of course, I like to wave it around anyway. It makes me feel more like a legitimate painter. I guess it all doesn't matter now. Unless you can defeat those painted trolls, we have no chance of getting the brush back.
Well, I can take them out.
The trolls that the thief painted seem to have turned on their creator and killed him. He didn't know the brush had its risks. The creatures are now loose all over the forest, and in the clearing where I was still working. The brush is on the body of the Bosma thief there. I will not be able to help you. I am not a warrior. But take these bottles of turpentine. They might help. Do be careful.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember to remove the trolls from my painting before I complete this piece. Be cautious, friend.
Located the thief's corpse. I should now search for it in the brush of true paint. After I retrieve the gold. I have retrieved the gold and the brush of true paint. I should go back and return to Rice. Tomato, so together we can leave this strange landscape.
Let me go paint us a way out of here. Good work. Now I can paint the portal home. After it's complete, you must go first, or else you'd be stuck in here forever.
Okay.
Follow me.
Rice used the brush to true paint a door back to his studio. I should now step through and return to Tamariel. We arrived back in his house. Painting is now sealed and ripe is a tomato again. I should speak to him when I have a moment. He looks like he has a tomato hair. Are you going to bed or something?
Tavella.
Wraith, oh my love, you're home safe. I was so afraid.
If it wasn't for my friend here, you'd be right.
Come, you must need food and rest.
I will rest, but I must take care of our guest first. I don't know how to thank you. You have a good heart to help me get back home. I'll never forget what you've done for me. Here, please take this apron as a token of our friendship. It's not much, but perhaps it will help you in the future. All I ask in return is to keep the brush's existence secret. If word gets around that I have it, I'm afraid more than a lone cut purse will visit me.
You got it.
Safe journey, Sergio.
All right then. I think I'm going to take a small nap and then get up and we'll start the day. Like a 20-minute nap. The day's already started. Okay, you are all amazing. Thank you for chatting, Colette. I will talk to you guys later.